Imagine standing at the edge of something extraordinary, your dream relationship, your ideal life, your long-awaited breakthrough. It's right there, almost within reach. You can feel it, sense it, even catch glimpses of it in the physical world, but somehow, it never quite lands. It's like life keeps teasing you with possibilities that hover just beyond your fingertips. And every time it slips away, you start to wonder if maybe the universe is testing you, or worse, if you're doing something wrong. This is where most people give up, but here's the truth that few understand. When your manifestations almost work, it's not failure. It's feedback. It's the universe reflecting the frequency you're currently tuned into, showing you the edge between your current reality and the one that's waiting to be embodied. The difference between almost and already isn't about luck or timing, it's about coherence. You see, manifestation isn't about convincing the universe to give you something. It's about aligning yourself with the version of reality where it's already true. The mistake so many of us make is thinking of the universe as something out there, a distant force we must persuade or impress. But the quantum field doesn't operate on effort, it operates on resonance. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. This might sound abstract, but it's not. The quantum field, the invisible realm of energy that exists beneath all matter, is a mirror. It doesn't respond to your words, your vision board, or your affirmations. It responds to your vibration, the emotional frequency that pulses through your being in every moment. When you feel lack, you emit the signal of absence. When you feel gratitude, joy, and surrender, you emit the signal of having. And the field simply mirrors it back. Think of it like tuning into a radio station. If you're on 89.7 FM, you can't hear what's playing on 104.5 FM. Both frequencies exist, but you can only experience the one you're aligned with. Your manifestations almost working means you're hovering between two frequencies, the old self that still doubts and the new self that already knows. 1 foot in the old reality, 1 foot in the new. The signal flickers. The universe wants to lock onto your broadcast, but it needs you to commit to one channel fully. That's why effort often works against you. The more you chase, the more you affirm separation. Every time you say, "I need this to happen," you're broadcasting that it hasn't happened yet. You're speaking to the universe in the language of absence. And the universe, faithful to your vibration, keeps echoing back experiences that confirm you're needing energy. So what if you stopped trying to make it happen, and instead started remembering who you already are? What if the key isn't in doing more, but in being differently? Because deep down, your desires aren't random. They're memory fragments from your higher timeline, clues from the version of you who already lives that reality. You're not trying to create something new. You're trying to tune back into it. This is where quantum understanding meets spirituality. Reality is not something fixed. It's fluid, alive, constantly responding to the energy you project. Every thought, every emotion, every expectation sends a ripple into the field, shaping the probabilities that crystallize into your lived experience. When your manifestations keep almost appearing, it means your signal is strong, but inconsistent. It's like static on a frequency that's trying to come through clearly. And this is the shift we'll explore together. The reason your desires flirt with you instead of committing, the subtle quantum reason why you manifest close calls instead of completions. Because once you understand how reality responds, not to your effort but to your energetic coherence, you'll realize that you've never been waiting on the universe. The universe has been waiting on you. By the end of this journey, you'll see that manifestation isn't about becoming something you're not. It's about remembering who you already are in the field of infinite potential. The almosts in your life will start to make sense, not as failures, but as the final alignments before the click, before reality locks in, before what was once just a vision becomes undeniable. So take a breath. Let go of the chase. You're not far away, you're right on the threshold. And in the quantum world, one shift in vibration can change everything. Most people approach manifestation like they approach everything else in life, through effort, force, and control. We are taught from childhood that to get what we want, we must do more, try harder, and push until it happens. And while that mindset can move mountains in the physical world, it often creates invisible walls in the quantum one. Because when it comes to manifestation, trying harder often means broadcasting lack even louder. You might visualize, script, or repeat affirmations with absolute dedication. You might feel moments of excitement, signs appearing, synchronicities aligning, only for things to slip just before they fully arrive. That moment, the one that feels like a cosmic tease, happens because deep down, there's a frequency mismatch. You're saying the right words but feeling the wrong vibration. You're imagining abundance while radiating the energy of, "I still don't have it." This is what it means to manifest from separation. You're trying to get something from the universe rather than becoming it. The subtle truth is that the very act of trying sends a message to the field: I am not there yet. The quantum field, the intelligent energy that holds every possible version of reality, mirrors that state back to you with precision. So instead of aligning you with the version of reality where your desire already exists, it keeps you looping in a reality where you are wanting it. It's a strange paradox. The more you chase the thing, the more you push it away. Because to chase is to affirm that it's running from you. To want something desperately is to announce that it's missing. This is not punishment, it's physics. You cannot emit the frequency of lack and receive the vibration of having at the same time. The universe doesn't respond to your words or even your surface thoughts. It responds to the emotional charge behind them. Imagine your energy like a radio tower. Every emotion, every belief, every silent expectation becomes a frequency you broadcast. When your internal signal says, I'm still waiting, the field matches that signal by giving you more waiting. When your vibration says, I already am, the field responds in kind, aligning the outer world with that inner truth. This is why so many manifestation techniques work for a moment, then fade. They temporarily shift your emotional state, but the subconscious pattern underneath, the belief that you're separate from what you want, pulls you back. You can visualize millions of dollars all you want, but if you secretly believe abundance is something you must earn or chase, your vibration is still tuned to scarcity. Think of it this way: imagine looking into a mirror. You wouldn't expect your reflection to smile first. You must smile and then the image responds. Reality works the same way. The external world is not leading, it's following. You are the signal. But most people are waiting for the reflection to change before they do. They say, once I have it, I'll feel peaceful. Once it manifests, I'll trust the universe. But quantum mechanics says it doesn't work that way. The reflection cannot shift until the source does. When you're manifesting from separation, you're constantly negotiating with the universe, asking, waiting, testing, doubting. That energy is full of resistance. It's like trying to row a boat against the current. The harder you try, the more exhausted you become. And yet, if you simply turned around, if you released the oars and allowed yourself to flow, the current would carry you directly where you wanted to go. Effort-based manifestation is rooted in fear. The fear that you are not enough, that life won't support you, that if you stop trying, everything will fall apart. But alignment-based manifestation is rooted in remembrance. It's the awareness that your desire already exists in a parallel probability, and your only job is to tune into that version of yourself who is already living it. Quantum physics supports this truth through what scientists call the observer effect, the phenomenon where the act of observation changes the behavior of particles. In simpler terms, the universe becomes aware of what you are aware of. When you constantly look for what's missing, you collapse the wave of infinite possibilities into the one reality where it's missing. But when you focus on gratitude, fulfillment, and emotional coherence, you collapse the wave into the timeline where it's already present. This is why spiritual masters, mystics, and even modern quantum teachers all say the same thing in different words. You must feel it first. You must become emotionally aligned with the end result before it shows up in your 3D world. Because in the quantum realm, feeling is not a side effect. It's the generator of form. Here's a powerful metaphor. Imagine tuning a radio to a specific station. If you're trying to listen to 98.1 FM but your dial is stuck at 92.3, no matter how loudly you wish for the song, you'll never hear it. The song is real. It's playing right now. But you're not tuned to it. The moment you adjust your frequency, the music becomes clear. Not because the station changed, but because you aligned with it. This is exactly how reality works. Your desires already exist. Somewhere, in the infinite field of potential, there's a version of you living that timeline right now. The only thing keeping you from experiencing it is the emotional static of disbelief, neediness, or attachment. The more you try to force your reality, the more you jam your own signal. And so, the illusion of effort becomes the greatest block. You believe effort equals progress, when in the quantum sense, effort equals resistance. Manifestation isn't about forcing energy to move, it's about becoming the still point that energy organizes itself around. It's when you stop grasping that you finally open your hands to receive. The moment you drop the chase and shift into the frequency of having, your external world has no choice but to match. The universe doesn't resist you, it reflects you. When you understand that your outer experience is only ever a mirror of your inner broadcast, you stop trying to control the reflection and start mastering the signal. This is the bridge we'll now cross together, the movement from mental control to energetic coherence. Because once you understand how the quantum field actually responds, you'll never need to try to manifest again. You'll realize that the effort was never the engine of creation. Alignment was. And the moment you align, reality will start to bend itself around you in ways that seem almost impossible, until they become your new normal. Everything in existence is energy vibrating at different frequencies. This isn't just a poetic idea, it's a measurable truth. Quantum physics has shown that what we call matter is, at its core, mostly empty space filled with vibrating potential. Atoms, when observed closely, dissolve into probabilities, into energy waves that behave differently depending on how they're perceived. This is the foundation of the quantum world. Consciousness and observation shape reality. So when you think of manifestation, you're not summoning something from nothing, you're influencing the probability field that already exists around you. The universe is not a static stage. It's a dynamic, living consciousness responding to the frequencies of your awareness. The key to understanding why your manifestations almost work lies in how this responsiveness functions. Reality is not solid until you give it focus, emotion, and meaning. Consider the famous double-slit experiment. Scientists discovered that light and electrons behave as both waves and particles, but only collapse into form when observed. In other words, potential becomes physical when attention is given to it. The same principle applies to your life. Your desires exist in wave form, potential realities floating in the quantum field. They begin collapsing into physical form the moment you become coherent with them, the moment your focus and energy harmonize into one clear frequency. But here's where most people unconsciously block the process. They send mixed signals. On one level, they think positively and imagine the desired outcome, but on another, deeper level, they doubt it, fear it, or overanalyze how it will come. The heart says yes, but the mind says no. These conflicting frequencies create interference patterns in the field, ripples of incoherence that distort the signal. That's why you often experience near manifestations, those moments where life feels like it's aligning perfectly before everything fizzles. The field was responding, but the signal was unstable. The quantum field mirrors coherence, not confusion. When your thoughts, emotions, and body state are aligned, you create a vibrational resonance that draws similar frequencies toward you. This is what mystics have called faith, alignment, or surrender. It's not blind belief but energetic congruence. You are broadcasting one clear message to the field: this is who I am and this is my reality. And the universe, as a mirror, reflects that identity back through circumstances, people, and synchronicities. Let's simplify this with an analogy. Imagine two tuning forks sitting side by side. When you strike one, the other begins to vibrate at the same frequency even though it was never touched. This is resonance. The quantum field behaves the same way. When you enter a coherent state, when your emotional energy and mental focus are synchronized, you send out a strong vibrational tone into the field. The field, in turn, responds by reorganizing matter and opportunities to match that tone. The universe doesn't decide whether to give it to you, it simply harmonizes with your broadcast. Now, what does coherence actually mean in human terms? It means that your thoughts, emotions, and energy field are not contradicting each other. The heart and the mind are in agreement. The heart emits an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond the body, far stronger than the brain's. When your heart is in coherence, when you feel gratitude, love, or inner peace, it generates a stable, rhythmic signal. That signal interacts with the quantum field like a laser beam, clear and unwavering. But when you're anxious, doubtful, or impatient, that signal becomes chaotic. The energy field loses clarity, and the universe mirrors that confusion back as mixed results, delays, or almosts. The observer effect in quantum mechanics proves that the universe is participatory, not passive. This means you're not living in a pre-written script. You're co-writing it with your consciousness. Every moment, the field is rearranging itself around your most dominant state of being. The question isn't whether the law of attraction works, it's whether your vibration is coherent enough to hold the reality you're calling in. Because the quantum field cannot deliver a reality that contradicts your inner state. Imagine you want to manifest love, but you're radiating fear of abandonment. You might meet someone who seems perfect at first, but the situation eventually reflects that fear back to you. It's not punishment, it's the field showing you what frequency you're transmitting. The quantum field is exact, neutral, and immediate. It gives you the energetic mirror you need to see where your alignment truly stands. This is why manifestation isn't about forcing or controlling outcomes. It's about entrainment, bringing your frequency into harmony with the reality you desire until the two become indistinguishable. When you hold the emotional frequency of your desired outcome consistently enough, the field no longer perceives separation between you and it. In quantum terms, the wave collapses into the particle. the potential becomes actualized. And this is where time begins to bend. From the perspective of the quantum field, all versions of reality already exist simultaneously. There is no linear progression, only vibrational selection. You don't create your future, you tune into it. You shift timelines not by traveling through space but by shifting your frequency. When you elevate your vibration to match the energy of your desired future, you move into alignment with the version of you that's already living it. This is also why manifestations often come faster when you stop obsessing over them. When you release attachment, you dissolve the frequency of resistance, the energy that says, "I don't have it yet." In that release, coherence naturally arises. It's like adjusting the lens on a camera. Once the focus locks in, the image sharpens instantly. The process can be summarized simply: thought directs energy, emotion fuels it, and belief stabilizes it. These three create the magnetic blueprint that reality follows. Thought without emotion is weak, emotion without belief is chaotic. But when all three align, the quantum field organizes itself to reflect that coherence through opportunities, coincidences, and tangible manifestations. So the question is not how do I make it happen, but how do I become coherent with the version of reality where it already has happened? This is the quantum mechanism of manifestation, the science behind what spiritual traditions have been teaching for centuries. You are not waiting for the universe to move. The universe is waiting for your vibration to stabilize. Once you understand this, the game changes entirely. You no longer chase your desires like distant goals, you merge with them energetically. You start to see every almost manifestation not as failure, but as proof that the field is responding. It means your signal is close, your coherence is forming, and your alignment is nearly locked in. The universe isn't teasing you, it's training you to refine your vibration until it becomes pure and unwavering. When you reach that state of quantum coherence, everything begins to flow. People, events, and synchronicities align with effortless precision. The external world bends to match your inner frequency. You realize that manifestation is not about attracting, but about remembering, a return to your natural state as a conscious creator of reality. Because in the end, the universe is not listening to your words. It's listening to your vibration. And when your vibration says, "I already am," reality can no longer resist. It must reflect. Now that you understand how reality actually responds, not to your effort but to your frequency, the next step is learning how to embody the shift. This is where theory becomes transformation. Because it's one thing to understand quantum manifestation intellectually, but it's another to live from that awareness every day, to walk through the world as if your desires are already encoded into your being. That's when the almost manifestations start to crystallize into the tangible, when possibility becomes presence. To move from almost to already, you must collapse the gap between who you think you are and who you actually are in the quantum field. You don't attract what you want, you match what you are being. This is the moment where you stop speaking to the universe as a beggar and start communicating as a co-creator. The universe doesn't respond to need, it responds to embodiment. So ask yourself not, "How do I get it?" but "How would I feel if I already had it?" That question is the doorway. Because emotion is the carrier wave of creation. Every feeling you generate acts as a frequency that broadcasts into the quantum field. When you emotionally embody the version of yourself that already has the life you want, even for a few minutes a day, you begin reprogramming your nervous system, your brain, and your electromagnetic field to mirror that new state of being. Over time, your outer world has no choice but to align with that internal blueprint. Start small. Imagine you're shifting into a reality where everything you've been asking for has already arrived. Close your eyes and breathe as if it's real. What does your body feel like in that version of you? Is it relaxed, open, radiant? How do you walk? How do you speak? How do you look at the world? Let your nervous system remember the feeling of safety, abundance, and certainty. Because your body doesn't know the difference between imagination and experience. When you feel something deeply enough, your brain records it as real. This is how you collapse the timeline between desire and manifestation, through emotional rehearsal. Each time you practice being your future self, you're pulling that timeline closer, strengthening the quantum entanglement between you and the desired version of reality. Eventually, the emotional signature becomes second nature, and the universe mirrors it back through experiences that match it perfectly. But here's what most people overlook. Embodiment isn't about pretending. It's not about forcing positivity or ignoring your current circumstances. It's about integrating the frequency of your desire into your present moment. You don't deny the old self, you alchemize it. You let your fears, doubts, and limitations rise, not to fight them but to rewire them. Each time you stay anchored in your chosen vibration instead of collapsing into old patterns, you strengthen the signal. Think of your current self and your quantum self as two overlapping realities, like two radio stations playing at once. The more you tune into the new frequency, the more the old static fades away. But here's the secret: you don't need to kill the old frequency. You simply stop energizing it. Every time you stop reacting to fear, to impatience, to unworthiness, you pull your energy back into coherence. That is embodiment, choosing alignment in the present moment over and over again until it becomes automatic. To live from alignment means to trust the field more than your senses. Your logical mind will look around and see what's missing, but your quantum self knows it's already done. The field rearranges itself in response to your trust, not your timeline. That's why letting go is so powerful. It's not giving up. It's moving into vibrational certainty. You're saying, I no longer chase what I am. I am it. Let's bring this into a tangible example. Suppose you're manifesting financial freedom. The old you checks the bank account every morning, feeling anxiety and lack. The embodied you still checks, but with neutrality, gratitude, and calm expectation. The external action hasn't changed, the frequency behind it has. That energetic shift is what triggers different outcomes. You've changed the emotional code, and therefore the reflection must change. Or imagine you're calling in love. The version of you that's almost there might still feel lonely or impatient. The version of you that's already there wakes up in the vibration of connection, even before anyone arrives. You feel loved before love shows up. You radiate warmth before anyone gives it to you. And soon, people and experiences begin to orbit around your energy, drawn like iron filings to a magnet. You didn't find love, you became it. This is the essence of quantum embodiment: to stop trying to manifest your desire as a distant event, and start expressing it as a present identity. Because the universe doesn't understand someday. It only mirrors now. When your emotional vibration says someday, the field keeps your manifestation just out of reach, always almost. But when your vibration says now, the field synchronizes instantly. Here's a simple, powerful daily practice to help you embody the shift. Start with stillness. Begin each morning by quieting the external noise. Sit in stillness and focus on your breath until you feel a sense of presence returning. This aligns your mind and body into coherence. Connect with the feeling. Visualize your desired reality not as a dream but as your current life. Engage all senses. Feel the texture of that world, the peace of that version of you. Allow your heart to swell with the emotion of gratitude, not for what's coming but for what already is in the field. Anchor the frequency. Throughout your day, carry a small reminder, a word, a gesture, a piece of jewelry that connects you back to that feeling. Every time you feel doubt, touch it and breathe. You're re-entering the frequency. Act from alignment. Let your actions flow from that vibration. Don't wait for permission or external validation. Move as if your reality is already rearranging itself around your energy, because it is. Surrender the outcome. After you've aligned and acted, release it. Detach from the how and when. The moment you stop grasping, the manifestation has room to land. This process turns manifestation into embodiment. You're no longer sending out requests, you're broadcasting confirmation. Every time you align your inner world with the feeling of the fulfilled desire, you're sending a steady, coherent signal into the field that says, this is who I am. And as your frequency stabilizes, something subtle but profound begins to happen. You start to notice synchronicities, repeating numbers, random opportunities, people saying exactly what you needed to hear. These aren't coincidences. They're feedback from the quantum field, tiny confirmations that your vibration is locking in. The almosts turn into alignments, and the waiting dissolves into being. In time, you'll realize that manifestation was never about convincing the universe to give you something new. It was about remembering the part of you that already had it. The field doesn't need you to want it harder. It needs you to become it fully. When that embodiment reaches a tipping point, reality has no choice but to catch up. So stop waiting for the future to prove your power. Begin living as if you already are who you wish to be. Let your thoughts, emotions, and actions merge into one coherent signal. Because once you embody your future self in the now, time collapses, and the impossible starts becoming inevitable. There comes a point when the chase finally ends, not because you've given up but because you've awakened to something deeper. You realize the universe was never withholding your manifestations. It was always mirroring your vibration with precision. Every almost wasn't failure. It was feedback showing where your energy was just a step away from full coherence. The truth is, the field has always been responding perfectly. When you learn to see near manifestations as alignment and progress, not rejection, everything shifts. You stop doubting, stop forcing, and begin trusting that reality is calibrating around you. The universe is never saying no, it's saying not yet, hold steady. This is the essence of the quantum leap, moving from effort to embodiment. From asking when it will happen to knowing it already is. Manifestation is not about chasing, it's about becoming. The moment your thoughts, emotions, and body speak one clear frequency, the field has no choice but to mirror it back. So breathe, let go, and step into knowing. The waiting ends when you align with what's already yours. The almost dissolve, the effort fades, and life begins to move with you, effortlessly, synchronously, precisely. Because in truth, you were never manifesting things. You were manifesting yourself.